Hello guys, welcome to a second episode of Where I Train. Today we have an interview with Amir Ghassemi. He's really well known here in Vancouver. He's a great fighter, BFL champion, also great coach. When he teach me some sessions, I always love it. I always learn something new. And he also have experience on UFC level. He also is manager and as I say trainer at Lions. So let's come and see. Welcome to a second episode Where I Train. Hello guys, I'm doing something like this first time, but I hope you will like it. I'm really happy that Amir find some time on me and we are able to today do it. So at first I wanna introduce you, Amir, to the people who you don't know about, like what they don't know about you.
Sure.
So tell us something about you.
Sure. My name is Amir Ghassemi. I've born and raised in Vancouver. Traveled, all over the world, trained all over the world. Spent a majority of my training and fighting through Lions MMA. I attest all my skills to Coach Paulie, who is the head coach of this gym, and I've learned everything and made my modifications and stuff from him. Three-time kickboxing champion, and I've been training and teaching for nearly 20 years. So I've been teaching people from beginners all the way up to the UFC, and it's been a great ride, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I see your level of sparring and things like this, and I need to say it's really incredible. And also when I come sometimes on your training, you always teach me something new. So I'm really thankful for it. And tell us something about like the biggest fight of your career, or like some experience, like what you never forget about it.
I've had amazing experiences. I'd say the way that I've always looked at every single one of my opponents is that it's the biggest fight of my life. Right. So that's the way that I was always motivating myself towards it. One of my better accomplishments was definitely winning the BFL title against a very, very game and tough opponent. And it was a 5-round war, right? Wow. So a lot of my fights I've been blessed to be able to win by finish or something of the sort, or be able to pick them apart. And this fight was more of a war, which was great. It was a great experience for me to be able to face adversity, challenge myself, challenge my cardio, continue to go back and forth and be able to dig deep. These are the type of fights that really kind of make somebody, where you get to see
build the character.
Exactly. Do I actually want this? Do I want to do this? And so on. So, that's right.
Nice. I really love it. Okay, and also we know like injuries are part of our career. I also experienced like lots of injuries since I started fighting. So what was your like biggest challenge, or something you have problem to return back?
Yeah, I've had many injuries throughout my career. Unfortunately, my career has been plagued by injuries. Right, so I've broken my nose 9 times. I've torn my shoulder. I've torn my elbow. I've broken my hands. I've broken my knuckles. I've torn my knee. Many. I've broken my shin. Broken my foot.
It's the price what we need to pay.
For sure. It's an unfortunate reality of our game. There's ways around it for sure, in terms of making sure that you're getting the proper treatments and making sure that you're doing the proper things to be able to recover and so on. So these are all kind of parts of it, all learning experiences. I'm blessed that I don't get as injured anymore because of the way that I've changed my training and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I'm also not competitive anymore, so things have changed a little bit for me. The worst injury I have is a knee injury as well as a back injury, where I had bulging discs for a little while. And it's a process. The only thing I can say to people is that if you are dealing with any sort of injuries, if you're dealing with anything, the best thing to do is to deal with it. The best thing to do is to actually recover.
Go inside deeply and learn from it.
We are bred and made to be able to push more and want to do more and don't want to stop training. And I think there's always an important part of making sure that you're recovering so that you are able to train effectively, number one. And then number two, we can modify our training as well. If I can't do 100%, I shouldn't train 100%. But I can maybe do 50% at some times, right? So being able to modify, making sure that we recover and take care of our bodies, is the key to longevity in this sport.
Okay, next questions. What are the values of this gym, or like when new member come here, like how we introduce them to the gym, and what we stand for?
Yeah,
as Lions MMA.
Yeah, the thing is, Lions MMA is not one person, right? It's an entire team. So we're very much about creating a community and a sense that no one is above anybody else, and we all take care of each other. So this is a huge core value for us. It's respect. It's no egos. It's having integrity, character, and being able to push each other and push other people to be able to become better for themselves. And at the end of the day, when people, I've had many beginners come through this gym. And through our work with them, they've become some of my best training partners. If I was to have a beginner come into the gym and I treated them badly, then you lose a training partner, you lose opportunity for that person to potentially maybe one day be a world champion. You lose the opportunity to be able to impact someone positively, right? So these are things that we really care about. Our job is to introduce more people to martial arts and for them to see the benefits of martial arts for their lives, right?
Okay, and what are the biggest, because I think there is difference, like still are the same things like in many levels, but what are the, like here in Canada or in Vancouver, what are the biggest misconceptions, like what people think, or what are the like biggest lies, what people think when they come like first time to the like martial arts gym or something like this?
Yeah, the common misconception is that when people go to a martial arts gym is that they are dealing with meatheads or people that are just like brutes and all this kind of stuff, and that's the most common misconception. It's very intimidating to go into a new environment, and intimidating to go into a new environment that's around combat sports, right? But the funny thing is about when you enter one of these locations, enter one of these places, you meet some of the most incredible people that are very humble, down to earth, and genuinely care about the people around them. Don't get me wrong, I personally believe that martial arts is extreme, right? And when I say extreme,
I agree. I cannot disagree.
And I think with extreme is there's two types of people that you get. You get people that are incredible that you'll have in your life forever, and there's people that you may not want to be around again, right? Our job is to facilitate more of this, which is the good people, and less of this, which is the bad people. That's our job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I also have some questions about how is the opportunity here for the fighters from the amateur level and also like some pro level. I know is there like some DFL and things like these tournaments?
Yeah. So in Canada there's definitely opportunity. In Canada there's definitely opportunity. In Vancouver it's becoming, now is better than ever before, right? Before, back in the day when I first started training, there was very little events. Half of them weren't sanctioned. Nothing was really, there was no commissions or anything of the sort. So it was very different many years ago. Now you have an incredible league like BFL who's sending people to the UFC left and right, who's creating contracts with UFC Fight Pass.
Opportunities.
Exactly, opportunities and being able to showcase. Plus the introduction of social media, this all makes a big difference, right? So I think opportunities now are much better than ever before, but I still think there's a lot of room to grow. I think there should be more promotions available. I think MMA does better in Vancouver and in Canada in general. I think there's more of a attention on it than kickboxing. I think there should be more kickboxing events, more
sorry
Muay Thai
for
events.
standing to your speech. What I discover like here in Canada is a really big Muay Thai and BJJ, like a gi kimono. So I would say like when I come here like first time to Canada, this is the like two big the sports what I discover in
sure.
martial arts.
There's lots of gyms that provide it, right? A lot of gyms will provide Muay Thai and BJJ, but the opportunities for competition of Muay Thai and BJJ, well, BJJ no, there's lots of opportunities for BJJ, but for Muay Thai and kickboxing, there's less, right? There's certain areas of Canada that are very, very good. Like for example, Ontario, there's a great Muay Thai scene, a great kickboxing scene. Calgary, there's a fantastic Muay Thai scene.
I was training in Calgary.
Yeah, fantastic Muay Thai scene. A lot of like, Muay Thai World Cup here in Kettle has done incredible things out there. But in Vancouver, we still need more. We still need more. We shouldn't have to send all our athletes across Canada. We should be able to build them up as well.
I absolutely agree. Okay, and in average, what are here like? I know like it depends on the like time and things like this, but I have like questions like what was asking about the price of membership or range of the membership here in the gym, or if somebody wants to come here on the training camp, like just for example 2 weeks, like how much he will pay.
Yeah, so we are one of the more affordable gyms in Vancouver, and we can afford to be one of those because we've been around for a long time, right?
Yeah.
We've been around since 2001, so we have
25 years.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a great base to be able to be able to use in this situation. So not all gyms are going to be as affordable as us, but for us, we have a range of 120 to about $160 per month, depending on what you want to choose.
Even in my country, like Slovakia, when I was training there, it was like 120 euros per month, and in the circumstances of Slovakia, it was still cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, 120 euros is expensive, you know. But yeah, so 120
it's like
to
200 Canadian dollars.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. And then if somebody wanted to come down and just want to train for 2 weeks, we'd be more than happy to work a price with them.
Here is like really good training, great coaches in all of the levels, since boxing to grappling. So whoever wanna come, you are welcome.
We'd love to have you guys.
Okay, thank you, Amir, for your time.
Of course,
I really appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Good questions.
Technique by Amir.
Some of our angles, actually one of my favorite techniques. Just being able to like walk through with my punches. Okay, so obviously our stance is our stance, but sometimes you want to be able to step through. You have to see different angles. Okay, so I'm gonna hit my double jab cross. Now, when I fire this double jab cross, I'm really moving back. Okay, if I'm committed to that right hand, you start to feel like your weight is transferring forward. Worst thing that we could do is step forward like so. Okay, especially when it comes to Muay Thai, for example, right? In boxing, same thing. We're gonna be stuck in close range, right? So from that cross, instead, I like to step to the outside. Now, 2 things happen when I step to the outside. 1, my head is off center. 2, my body's loaded up with some power. And 3, where's his natural exit? This way. So if he starts to move this way, he runs into a big power shot. Okay? So again, double jab cross, lifting forward. I step, focus on stepping first. Once you step, let your legs load up, and then we're gonna fire up that big power left hook from that outside angle. Now, if I land and he keeps moving, I can step right back in and hit my overhead as well. Okay? So pad always pay attention to this. Fire. I hit the hook. Now from that position, I'm going to step right back in, and as I do so, turn that shoulder over to hit that overhead. Okay? One last time. 1, 1, 2. Step with the hook, hit that overhead for the finish. Okay? Let's work. Let's go.
Hello guys, we are today before West Cannabis is the one of the first legal cannabis stores in Canada, and we have today talked with pro MMA fighter Amir Ghassemi, but not only about fighting, but also how is here difficulties in Canada start to own brand, and how is here going the cannabis business and things like this. So let's go inside.